This is the Principal's Toolkit 2. PTA transforms the playground. This is an AI video created with the intellectual property of Dr. Melinda Bossenmeyer.
So what if I told you that a few buckets of paint could actually spark a revolution on a school playground? It sounds kind of wild, right? But that's exactly the story we're diving into today. We're going to see how a simple, do-it-yourself idea took a school's blacktop from just a gray, monotonous space to a vibrant hub for learning and play.
All right, just look at this transformation. It's incredible. On one side, you've got the before picture, a totally standard, gray, uninspired school blacktop. You know the kind. A place for just kind of aimless running where social dynamics often meant, well, the biggest ruled. Now, check out the after. It's like a whole different world, right? We're talking a riot of color filled with laughter, engagement, and kids actually playing with purpose.
So to really appreciate this change, we've got to understand the starting point. Let's take a closer look at what the problem was with that original playground.
So just picture it, that big, dull, gray slab of asphalt. It wasn't just boring to look at, it was actually shaping how kids were interacting with each other. With no structure, recess got, well, pretty monotonous. And the social dynamic? It was simple. The biggest ruled. And that left a lot of kids feeling left out on the sidelines. It was this blank canvas, sure, but it wasn't exactly inspiring a masterpiece.
But then, a catalyst for change showed up. A simple, yet totally brilliant, solution was proposed by the school's principal, a Mr. Owens.
And his idea? It was so straightforward, it was genius. Instead of shelling out for expensive new equipment, he proposed a PTA-led do-it-yourself project. The mission was simple. Let's paint educational games and activities right onto the blacktop. Now you gotta remember, this was a new one for the PTA. They were used to funding things like library books or field trips, not playground makeovers.
But you know, it wasn't exactly met with a standing ovation right away. Oh no, there was definitely some skepticism. You had parents asking, painted games? Isn't that just for the little kids? And that's a fair question, right? Could something so basic really make that much of a difference?
Well, despite those initial doubts, the project actually moved forward. And the results? They were way more impactful than anyone had even imagined. See, this wasn't just about decoration. This was about fundamentally changing the whole nature of play at the school.
The secret sauce behind all this success? It's actually rooted in a really cool educational principle called active learning. The whole idea is pretty simple, actually. When students are physically engaged, their bodies and their minds start working together. All those abstract ideas from a textbook, they suddenly become tangible, concrete, and way easier to remember.
When you really break it down, the impact of this new playground rested on three main pillars. First up, a major academic boost. Second, some really crucial social skill development. And third, and this one's so important, total inclusivity. Let's dig into each of these. Okay, first, the academics. All of a sudden, recess became this amazing extension of the classroom. You'd see kids huddled around a giant painted map of the United States, literally hopping from state to state and calling out their names. Math wasn't just on a worksheet anymore. It was a physical adventure, shouting +1 and -2 as they jumped along a super colorful number line.
Now, let's talk about the social impact. These games provided a natural framework for kids to interact. They had to negotiate rules, work together to strategize their moves, and learn how to celebrate victories and, just as important, handle defeats as a team. They were building friendships and learning how to navigate those complex peer relationships, all through the simple act of play. And this part is absolutely crucial. This new design was for everyone. Because all the games were just painted on the ground, they were completely accessible no matter a student's physical abilities. This totally leveled the playing field, and it created a truly inclusive space where every single child could participate and feel like they could succeed.
And get this, the benefits didn't just stop when the recess bell rang. Not at all. Teachers started noticing this huge change in the students coming back to class. They weren't just physically tired, they were mentally energized. Their minds were buzzing, totally stimulated by that mix of physical activity and active learning. It made them way more ready to jump back into whatever was happening in the classroom.
So when you take a step back, you realize this small project represents a much bigger idea. It's really a playground revolution, one that challenges all of us to rethink what our shared community spaces can be and what they should be.
So why does all this matter? Well, because this story proves that a space we often just totally overlook, the blacktop, can be transformed from a symbol of monotony into this powerful, vibrant learning landscape. It's a huge testament to the power of play, not as some distraction from learning, but as a vital tool for it.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? This school found its blank canvas right there in the playground. So it kind of makes you wonder, what overlooked gray space in your own community is just waiting for a splash of color? What's waiting for its own revolutionary idea?
Thank you for watching Week 2 of the Principal's Playbook. The PTA transforms the school playground. This is an AI video created with the intellectual property of Dr. Melinda Bossenmeyer. You can read the full article on our Principal's Toolkit page or go to the featured articles page of our website to review more articles by Dr. Melinda Bossenmeyer.